Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. Our OP's neighbor is so crazy that she thought she should get a refund because the OP passed out and woke up her baby. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Refused to buy things from my neighbor with a baby after waking up her baby. I live in an apartment building with very thin walls and floors. We know our downstairs neighbors and that they have an infant. Because of this, we're always very meticulous when it comes to how hard we walk, as it's extremely easy for one hard footstep to shake the entire apartment. I started taking a new medication lately, and one of the side effects of it is dizziness, which has been a lot for me. I'm also very anemic as of lately, as I order vitamin supplements that I've been out of for a week. Yesterday, I was sitting at my table and spilled my water onto the floor. When I got up to clean up the water, I got dizzy, lost my balance, and slipped on the water. I fell really effing hard, and I knew it probably made a huge sound. About 15 minutes later, as I'm putting Band-Aids on my elbow and knee, I get a call from my downstairs neighbor. She began yelling at me, asking me what that huge thud was and how I woke her baby up from his nap. I apologized profusely and explained to her the fact that I fell and how I fell, and that next time I'll be way more careful than I was when it comes to doing something that could cause me to slip and or fall. She kept on rambling about how furious she was and how her baby's health is important and how she wanted a break, etc., etc., etc. She then tells me that she wants me to walk to the store and buy her formula, diapers, and a toy. She specified that she wanted me to use my own money as it's part of my punishment for waking up her baby. I'd like to point out that I'm a minor. It's also 20 degrees and snowing right now. I was so taken aback that I just said that I wasn't going to do that and sorry one more time and hung up in her face. I ended up telling my mom and stepfather. They said that ultimately she was out of line for talking to me the way she did, but that I needed to be more careful and that I shouldn't have fell so hard, as well as I should have been more careful around my water. I tried to explain to them that I have no control over how hard I fall, but they just shrugged. I forgot to mention that she explained to me that the reason she wanted me to get her formula, diapers, and a toy is because she would be wasting formula trying to get him back to sleep later. She would need more diapers for what she would need to feed him and while he was asleep, and a toy to help stabilize his emotions since he was woken up abruptly. And our second story. Owner loves to tell people he's the owner. I work for a local hobby and game store. We have several different staff shirts with our store logo on them, but we aren't required to wear them unless a big event is going on. But we also sell shirts that have our logo on them, so intentionally, it's easy for employees to blend in with customers for loss prevention and a casual atmosphere. The owners rarely wear staff shirts but are proud of their business and wear our for sale shirts regularly when they're in the building. Before the COVID stuff, we had a bunch of people come in every day to use our open tables to play games and hang out, so occasionally we get colorful characters or Karens. One of the owners loves coming up to problem people and acting like a fellow customer so he can give them just enough perceived support for them to show their true colors and then drop the, "Hi, my name's C. I'm the owner of this store. Get out of my store and don't come back." It's like his favorite thing to watch these people go from confident to confused to, "I'm going to get your manager," to, "Oh wait, did he say owner?" to embarrassed and angry to meekly leaving the store. When we were smaller, he used to use a bit more intimidating language, but he's still a big guy and can be very intimidating with just his presence when he wants to be. There are so many great stories, and I'll probably get around to posting more at some point, but this is my current favorite. Some small details like names are edited for privacy stuff. Two groups of kids are opening the newest set of Magic the Gathering, a collectible card game. First group is around the 10 to young teenage range, and the second was older teens pushing 19 to 20-ish. Both groups were having a good time opening good stuff and getting excited. There were some other people playing Magic and also a few other games too. One of the older kids hears one of the younger talking about getting a specific card and offers to trade with them for one of the cards he got. Both groups are new to the game, so neither could possibly know what the value of the cards are, but I do, and so does the owner who's sitting a few tables away playing a game with his friends. The older kid is trading away a trash card for a card worth like $50, but neither know that. The owner pipes up that just trading one for one without knowing the value of the cards is always a bad idea for both parties and directs them to a website they can use to check prices. They do, and the older kid is legitimately upset. He almost ripped the other kid off. The owner tells them that until they get more experience with the game, that it's probably a pretty good idea to just not trade. They both thank him and go back to playing. Situation over, everyone happy. Until one of our fairly regular colorful characters, CC, decides to involve himself. This guy's never been ill-intentioned, but always makes people uncomfortable by being a bit too forward or inviting himself into conversations or games with people he doesn't know. And since the situation is pretty much resolved, the only way to keep the conversation going is to take an opposing viewpoint. CC starts arguing somehow that it's absolutely okay to trade away stuff you don't know the value of, as long as you think you're getting a good deal. The owner's very confused as he hasn't interacted with CC before and asks him point blank if he thinks it's okay for people to cheat children. CC says yes, just happy to be having a conversation, and in his mind, I guess, winning the argument. Owner uses his signature line, "Well then, hi, I'm Name. I'm the owner. Get out of my store and never come back." CC is so shook he leaves without another word. But of course the tale continues because another one of our sketchier, almost regular guys tries to argue with the owner that it was unfair of him to ban CC just because he was okay with cheating children. It wasn't like he actually cheated himself, he was just okay with it. Owner's even more confused by this point of view and very frustrated at this point and says, "Well, as I just said, I'm Name, I'm the owner, and if you really think I should allow people in my store who are okay with cheating other customers, especially children, then you can get out and not come back too." They argue for a bit more, and the owner tells me to call the cops to get this other guy out of the store. Before I can pick up the phone, the guy leaves. Owner gets loud and says to enter the store, anyone who thinks it's okay to rip off children in my store should leave and not come back. As he goes to sit back down to play his game, parents of the younger group of kids come up and thank him. At some point, those parents left a review of our store, 5 out of 5 stars. My hat's off to this owner. He's a fine, upstanding example of what society should be. You don't have to fight with people to show them your point of view. He's educating them through social engineering instead of conflict. Good on him. And our last story. Crazy Karen gets a $30,000 fine and more. This happened 1 week ago, a Monday, my worst day in over 5 years. I'm a locksmith by trade, and the job requires me to be up on ladders fixing doors and locks and whatever else is broken on a door. I was working on the main entrance door to a large second-hand store. Sometimes I have to block off an entryway to fix a door, and if I do, I always try and find another option for customers to enter and exit the building. I opened an emergency exit door off to the right, maybe 10 feet away, of where I was working to make sure there was a door they could use. I'm working away, minding my own business, up on my ladder, listening to my audiobook on my Bluetooth headset, when entitled Karen and Child walk towards me. Karen: "Excuse me, I need to get in the store." Me: "Well, this entry's out of order right now, but Karen: "I need in now. You can't block the door." Me: "Yes, well, if you let me finish what I was saying." Karen: "You need to move out of my way." Me, getting annoyed: "There's a door over there. You can go in there." Karen: "No, this is closer." Me, now angry: "Look, stop bothering me and go over there." This is when Karen takes things to the next level. Karen had none of my yelling at her. She grabs her son by the wrist, who's been standing by saying nothing, and tries to climb under my ladder while I'm on it. Her large purse caught on the side rung of my ladder and pulled it over, sending me, my tools, and the motor of the handicap operator I was working on smashing to the ground. I fell on my shoulder, breaking my collarbone and dislocating my shoulder. The motor hit the ground and shattered, and the ladder fell on her and her son. A cashier who saw the whole thing through the window rushed over to see if I was okay. I said no, something's broken. A bit in shock. Call the police and an ambulance. They arrive and the police take statements, and I tell them I want to press charges before I was loaded up in the ambulance and taken to the hospital. The kid's father came to get the kid, who was not hurt, thankfully, and she was taken away in handcuffs. No word yet on a court date or anything. Since then, I've been off work in pain, all because Karen wanted some secondhand crap. Update. So a lot's happened for Karen. I'm not going into too much detail, but I'll give a short Cole's Notes version. First off, I've been at home resting and healing, and my boss was nice enough to pay me my full wages when I'm off instead of what the insurance board would have paid me. I'm very grateful to work for someone who respects and cares for his workers. As for Karen, her bail was posted last week, and she's been ordered to stay with her mother until the court date. This has become a full criminal matter. She's been charged with 1, 2 counts of assault with a weapon causing bodily harm, 2, 1 count of child endangerment, 3, 1 count of harassment, and if convicted, ordered to pay damages for all broken property. Also, she's facing 8 years in prison for all of this. Her husband has filed for divorce, and the child's been given to his father's custody with an order she's not to see him without the supervision of a child services agent and at least 1 police officer. I want to say, though, I feel really bad for Karen and her family. Karen ruined her life and tore her family apart. Update. Sunday, October 20th, 2019. Nothing much has changed legally or anything. But I'm feeling a bit better, enough that I can go to work and just do some paperwork at a desk or something. I'm going stir-crazy sitting at home. My clavicle still hurts like a bee if I move a certain way or too quickly, but I can manage at a desk. I've been off nearly 3 weeks, and it's time to not mope at home. Update. It's over. Court dates and lawyers are finished. It's been a long road. First, Karen's been charged and officially sentenced. $30,000 damages, including medical cost, 4 years in federal prison, 2 years probation. Her son is scared of her. Her family didn't even show up to the sentencing hearing. I'm happy, I'm healed, and feeling good now. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.